What is poppin', y'all? I've got the changes for my favorite, or my personal favorite of all the Pika clones, Dedenne. Before I get into explaining my thought process behind the three ability choices and all of the crazy, awesome new move synergies that come with these three abilities and all the new move changes in this game, I want to have a quick disclaimer for new viewers. If you're returning, you can always skip ahead like 30 seconds or a minute. I appreciate you coming back to my videos. Make sure you drop a comment, like, sub if you haven't already, all that good stuff. It helps support me and all the the work that I put into these games. But for new viewers, I recommend you pause the video and read the description. It's got a bullet point list that explains all of the key background points about the game. So make sure you give that a read. It'll give you some context that you'll need. And then when you're done with that, you can also check out the move guide. That's on the Google Sheet link down below. I also have tons of other videos for every other Pokemon and also just videos explaining stuff in general. But the most important thing that you should check out if you haven't already is this move guide. I recommend you just scroll in order and look at it. But yeah, with all that out of the way, the Dedenne. Dedenne is really cool. They have three awesome abilities in Prankster, Electromorphosis, and Appetite. So Prankster is very awesome and fitting given their whole, the Pokedex describes it as a rascal specifically. It sneaks into people's homes, it steals electricity. If your electric bill seems off, it's the handiwork of this rascal. So there's other things like it uses its tail to absorb electricity from people's homes. So yeah, definitely like a little prankster, shithead little vibe, right? And that has awesome mechanical implications you can read on screen, and I'll cover those in a bit as well. Electromorphosis is the whole, their whole thing is like they're an antenna Pokemon, and they're like charging themselves constantly, like they plug their tail into outlets, etc. So I think them having the charging ability in Electromorphosis is really fitting and cool. I believe Pachirisu will also have it, but they'll be normal type instead of fairy, so that's cool. And they'll have slightly different stats, like Pachirisu might be a bit faster, whatever. You get the idea, though. They will share Prankster and Electromorphosis both, I believe. Actually, I know they're gonna have Fur Coat as well. Whatever, you guys get the general idea. All right, I'm gonna get into it later, but the Dedenne is super cool. And then the last slot, so Electromorphosis is very powerful offensively. I'll cover that in a bit. And then Appetite, flavor-wise, makes sense because of the whole they're constantly trying to eat or get electricity. It's honestly a bit of a reach. The main reason I picked Appetite is because of Cheek Pouch, because Cheek Pouch was repurposed into Metabolism for Snorlax, and because Appetite is objectively better than Cheek Pouch, right? Ripen is pretty much always better than Cheek Pouch for the most part. However, there's a lot of pure normal types, and I didn't want to have two with Metabolism / Appetite, so I gave Snorlax. Snorlax will have Recycle plus Metabolism exclusive, while Greedent has Appetite because he's more based on eating food. But yeah, Appetite is an incredible offensive ability. It's basically just a better version of Cheek Pouch, so that's why I picked that. You can get double citrus, you can get offensive. So the beautiful thing is all three of these abilities low-key can be used offensively and defensively, but especially Appetite is very versatile. So offensively you can do Belch, which gives you +1 special attack now. You can do Belch plus Appetite Salac or Appetite Pataya Berry. I would say Salac Berry is the best. You could also do Engorge, Salac, Appetite, or just Engorge in general. Engorge will give you +1 defenses and eat your berry. So of course, if you have Appetite, you're going to get double your berry. So you get +2 defenses or +1 defenses, and then +2 from whatever berry you have. Assuming the best way to use Engorge is usually going to be a stat boosting berry, although in theory you could, Key Berry, Moringa Berry, that's also just great with Appetite in general, by the way, just making yourself super tanky. Switch in on a resisted physical hit. So for example, your bulk doesn't look that good on paper physically, right? 67 seems pretty bad, honestly, but if you consider the fact that, number one, Electric Fairy has tons of resistances, number two, you have the ability to change your EV spread at will. So if you run max HP, max defense, your tanking gets much better. And then you also have to consider Prankster and Appetite's defensive utility. Keyberry Appetite and then Charm Prankster, for example, both give you immense physical bulk in one turn for free, literally for taking no damage almost, right? So that's awesome. Other offensive stuff I can quickly cover because, yeah, it can be used offensively, right? It has high base power Zap Cannon, which is electric type Draco Meteor. It's got early Short Circuit, which for a really strong move. It's got high voltage, Radiant Edge, all these strong high base power moves for the end game. It's got some decent coverage and Energy Ball and Flash Cannon. But the main thing here is the utility from Prankster and the insane damage boost from Morphosis. So the thing with Morphosis is you can use it offensively, purely just Scarf, switch in, blow something up with, or Quick Claw, blow something up with Morphosis, or you can do a really fat, bulky, Assault Vest Parabolic Charge Shockwave set, for example. Shockwave is priority, so that's great with Electromorphosis, and then Parabolic Charge now heals you by 75% HP, which is insane healing. with Morphosis. And the thing is, like Belly Bolt, for example, who also has Morphosis and Stab. Obviously, Belly Bolt is bulkier overall, but he gets more parabolic charge of 50, right? Because it's pretty fucking broken. Because in game versus like AI, you don't have to worry about them switching out into their, electric immunity or anything. They're not even always going to have one. Most of the time they won't. So being able to just sit on things forever and 1v1 them with parabolic is crazy. Obviously, its physical bulk it's not nearly as good as Belly Bolt's physical bulk, but especially it's very tanky still. So you can do like any special attacker, you can definitely 1v1 with parabolic charge with ease. You can also finish them off with Shockwave and Electromorphosis. So that's super, super dope. Great offensive option. Very, very fun to use. And then Prankster is super, super great. So you've got Encore, which is nerfed to only be 1 PP, but tons of Pokemon get it. And of course, even just one single use of Encore versus AI is like, changes the entire course of the match. So that's super, super strong with Prankster. Taunt is great versus leads, especially. Dual Screens is obviously great. Nuzzle now drops attack, special attack, and paralyzes at the same time. That's great with Prankster. Charm and Strange Impulse drop attack and special attack by -2 each. Magnet Rise is great with Prankster if you're sitting in front of a ground type or a ground move. Engorge with Prankster is pretty cool because you can get +1 defenses before they can hit you. So you can do like Engorge plus Keyberry or Moringa Berry versus or even like Citrus Berry, right? Just to get healing, or Select Berry, whatever. All sorts of fun ways you can abuse Engorge plus Prankster, which is super cool. And then Amnesia also is pretty good with Prankster. And then also Dreamy Kiss is great with Prankster if you run Wide Lens. That gives you 2 guaranteed turns of sleep with priority. So yeah, Prankster is fucking awesome. Even stuff like Acid Reflux, which poisons and drops special defense by -2. I gave that to him because of the whole cheek pouch eating vibe he has going for him with the belch and stuff too. Super Fang is also an exclusive flinch move that's really strong, especially with sweeping sets. Like if you're doing like an Appetite, Selacberry, Belch type of sweep, having Super Fang to break focus sashes and or burn a Quick Claw on the AI's side, which is like the main things that are going to stop your sweep, is really, really strong. So this thing can do it all. Really, it's like, and I would fucking love to use Dedenne in this game, man. It's got so many cool tools. Both offensively and defensively, super versatile, cool ass typing, the coolest moves, coolest abilities. I love the ability choices. I think they came out super awesome. And I like how the stats aren't crazy overtuned. Obviously, like if you're new here and this is your first video, you're gonna see these stats and be like, this is way too high for Dedenne. But in the context of the game, the stats make sense. I highballed a couple of them, like the Spidef is like the higher end that I make sense for, but otherwise I think it's all very reasonable. And it's still an incredible Pokemon, right? It's because of the abilities and the moves, which is how all Pokemon in this game work, Stats don't even really matter that much when you have such cool abilities and moves. So yeah, thank you for listening, guys. I think I've covered pretty much all the super important stuff. Again, you can always check out more details about things in the description down below, on the Google Sheet, etc. You can always ask comments too and stuff. But yeah, I'll leave it up there. Thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you drop a comment if you made it to the end. Is there anything else I really want to touch on before I end it? I don't think so. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So, appreciate y'all listening. Peace.